Noted. Welcome to Beyond Sight, a channel geared towards espiritismo, spiritual development, guidance, and inspirations. And once again, I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Hi. Yes. I want to speak today about a little bit more of yesterday's video. And I'm going to start by a little story, as always. So, ready? Are you comfy? Are you doing well, honey? I am so glad to hear that. I am elated. Yes, it's always good to see you. Absolutely. Might not see you, but I feel you. I know you're there. Ay, ay, ay. No, but seriously, it's wonderful to to have you here, and hopefully being inspired by some of these stories or many readings. And again, for those that are in developing, getting closer to their spiritual guides, ancestors, this is a great tool. And if you're not, it's still a great tool. You know, for all of us on this journey, which we call life. So here we go. Okay, so there was a couple. They live in the suburbs, pretty well off. Had a beautiful house and two cars, and they've been married for a couple of years. The man had a very good job, a very well off corporate job. Let's say that the wife really didn't have to work if she didn't choose to. And she did not choose to. So, after years of her spending and buying elavish clothes, lavish lunches and parties and cars, etc. You know, beautiful things for the household, etc. Uh, which most of us, not all of us, but most of us would, uh, when we have enough money, excuse me, like that. Um, so one day, the gentleman lost his job. So he sat down and spoke with the wife. Listen, we have to pull back a little bit on our spending and and buy the necessary. We have enough money in the bank to hold us out for a couple of years until I find a better job, and then we could go on with our lives. The wife was really set on going to let's say Hawaii, tropical island somewhere, and he mentioned that we couldn't do that at the moment because of our funds. We needed to save. She was upset, but she had no choice. And the man got dressed every morning and went out looking for another job. And meantime, the wife would go use the credit cards and buy unnecessary things. And it came to a point where they were almost totally destitute, broke, no money. So the man said to the wife, "We have to downsize. We're going to have to get rid of a car, get rid of the house, and move to a smaller place." Obviously, the wife was very upset. No, 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 no. And, but there was no choice. So the man found an apartment somewhere uptown. Um, and they began to pack up. And the wife was a little bit bewildered because she had to do her own packing, which she was not accustomed to. And the husband mentioned to her again, we have to save funds. So we're going to have to do the moving ourselves. So they packed up boxes and they drove rented a truck and drove the truck themselves and got to the new apartment. The new apartment was not a house that she was accustomed to, and but for the moment, it had to make do. And she walked in, and by the time they got there, it was getting dark outside. So she's flicking on and off the light, and she says, "There's no electricity. What's going on?" He says, "Oh, um, they will put on the light in a couple of days." And she started, "Oh, I can't be here without electricity. Da, 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 da. And what is this? I have to unpack myself and have to clean this apartment. It has to be cleaned." Everything was a complaint. She looked out the window and she saw right next to them a little old um, house. The house had a two car garage. It had it was kind of quaint, old, but it was cute. It had this weird bent tree right over the house that it seemed to give us some shade, but the tree was kind of weird. And she noticed there was an owl over the the house. She found it strange. So she complained to her husband, "Oh, look, this house has garage and we don't have a garage and we're in an apartment, blah 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 blah," right? And he kept reminding her, "We have to make do." Anyway, they started unpacking, and she turned in the living room and she saw there was a little fireplace. And she noticed over that fireplace there was a picture, uh, uh, a canvas, and it seemed to be identical to the house below. And she says, "Oh, how strange. But this is an ugly picture. I don't want it over my mantle." And she took the picture down and she put it on top of one of the boxes. The husband looked at the picture and he found it beautiful. How perfect it was, a perfect image of the house below. So it was getting late, so they prepared for bed, and the husband was exhausted. So was the wife, and they went to sleep. All of a sudden, the wife heard, ooh, ooh. She was like, what is that? And she sat up in bed and didn't hear it. She lay back down and heard some thumping sounds and sat up again and heard the whoo, whoo, and heard thumping sounds. So she nudged the husband. She says, listen, there's some noise there. I don't know if it's a bird or a burglar. Can you get up and check? And he was like, oh, it's nothing. You're not used to the noises on your surroundings. Go back to sleep. So she lay back down. And morning came, and she mentioned the noise again to her husband. And he looked around. The door was locked, windows were closed, everything was as they left it. He says, no worries, let's get some of these boxes unpacked. And that's what they were doing. And throughout all those hours, she was complaining, complaining, complaining. The evening came, and they were getting ready for bed. And she chewed his ear off. I'm so tired of this. Da, da, da. I want my house. I want my 2-car garage. I want a backyard. I want. You know, I'm so miserable here. Complain, complain, complain of everything. So he said, please go to sleep. I'm going to find work soon. And then we'll be done with it. And then we could save money and move out and find a house. They lay down, and she once again heard thumping and banging. And she heard the hoot hoot again. So she said, I'm gonna get up and try to see what it is. She got up and she fidgeted through the darkness and realized that the canvas wasn't on a box anymore. It was back on the wall. So she got upset, and she ripped it off the wall, and she threw it back on the box. And she yelled and screamed at the canvas like it had something to do with her misery, right? And went back to bed. As soon as she lay down, she heard the banging and the hooting, and on it went. Um, the next morning, the the electrician came, and they turned on the light, and and gas and whatever it was. So she's still complaining and complaining. So she mentioned the noise again, and he told her, oh, you losing your mind. You need to relax. We have light now. Relax. So she refused to. All she did was complain about every little thing. Evening comes, to make the story shorter, and they went to bed, and once again, she hears the noise. Hoot, hoot, and the banging and the tussling and da. She goes, oh my goodness, what is this? I gotta find out. She got up, she opened the window, she looked around, she she looked at the door is closed, and she took a flashlight and she looked at the picture that was back up on the mantle. And she started yelling and screaming at the canvas, and all of a sudden she could see the owl eyes open and look directly at her, but in a mean mug way, right? Urgh. And hoot at her, and she got startled, and the owl opened up his wings, and the door and the canvas opened up, and all of a sudden there was a big bang, and everything went quiet. Excuse me. In the morning, the husband woke up, and the wife wasn't laying next to him. He got up, he went into the kitchen, the wife wasn't there, the bathroom, wife wasn't there. He looked all around, wife was gone, door was still locked, and he could hear a little yell, "Oh," like my sound effects. He's like, "Where's that coming from?" He realized it was coming behind him. The noise was coming from behind him. He turned around, and when he looked at the picture, in one of the windows in the house on the canvas was his wife's face with a dark shadow standing behind her, holding her. Our story for today. Yes, be careful what you ask for. Yeah, but truly, it's mind over matter. You know, it's like we were speaking about the other day. Our thoughts. You know, it could be used for good, and it could be used for bad. You know, and bad is only an energy misdirected. You know, misdirected. A bad energy is energy misdirected. You know, because like I said, when you hold in stuff or you accept others people's thoughts about yourself or your situation, it's misdirected. So who knows, maybe in her upbringing, um she was taught that, the only thing she'll be happy, or she's someone, if she has that $3 million shoes on. you know the shoes doesn't make you. You make the shoe, right? But I'm not knocking it. I wish I could wear a $3 million shoe, but um for me it's not necessary. you know when Payless was around, that's where I went. you know exactly, and I wear it well. um yes. So it's your mindset. When you learn how to recognize when ego steps in, um you're able to work with these thoughts and emotions and feelings. Um and it's very important when you're doing spiritual work, you know or again in our everyday living, you know because everything is energy. Everything. Look how Albert Einstein and Edison, you know, that tapped into to energy, electricity, you know. And right now, electricity is all over the world, you know, in kind of control and not control, because you could never control something like that. You know, everything in life has energy, you know. Um, what holds up our world? Energy. You know, what moves our bodies? You know, energy. You know, um, if food for thought, if we think about a magnet and how it works and how that magnet could pull something towards it without you seeing it or feeling it, you know, but whatever is iron, you know, it would gravitate to that magnet energy, you know, which is amazing. um so we have the same force, you know, we have the same qualities within ourselves, you know, whether you're working in the spiritual, to speak to your ancestors, angels, spiritual guides, or just to pull something that you want, changing how you think, you know, because again, if you get up in the morning and you say, oh my god, I have so much pain, that pain, that thought carries throughout the day, is an energy, you know. If you quickly recognize it and shake it off, you know, yeah, it's gonna creep in here and there, but your day will be better because you're not focusing on that, you know. um there's a lot of people that are weary or scared of those that could speak with spirit. Everyone could do this. Everyone, no one is special. Okay, no one is special. Everyone has this gift. The only difference is that many of us have chosen to to touch into that energy, you know, to remove that veil, which is not much to do because they walk amongst us all the time. But because of us, uh, um, I want to say ignorance, but ignorance is a false direction. Also, um, is a false thought. You know, many of us can see spirit. You know, which is energy. Energy never dies. It just transforms. You know, like a baby. A baby is born, and babies, children up to a certain age, could see spirit clearly, probably clearer than what I see them. But what happens? You know, they start growing up, and life starts happening, and many of them uh, get shut down. You know, that curtain starts going down, and they can't. My mother used to call it malicia. In English is malice. You know, you know, uh, life issues, and it starts shutting that down. But if you sit and you think, these spiritualists um, know how to pull, know how to work with that energy. And if you choose to, so could you, you know. is only two things, or three things: knowing self, having faith, and no doubt. If you could harbor those three, you're on your way. You know, you'll be on your way, because this is nothing special but energy, which we all are. You know, Jesus said, and I quote in one of my other videos, that in, I believe it was Matthew's, I forgot, 31 or something. I forgot. Anyway, he was speaking to his apostles, and he says, the most mere will do greater things than I, you know. So what is that telling us? You know, we don't part seas because we don't believe that we are capable of doing, you know. We don't tap into that energy. But that's a bigger project. But let's start by changing our negative thoughts of ourselves and learning how to recognize it, you know, to better our life. Um, you know, when you want that new apartment, you have to declare it. When you want that new job, you have to declare it and know that is yours, and know that you're capable of doing it. You know, just don't swag in. Oh, I look good, but I can't do the job. No, no, that's not having faith in yourself. And when you have no faith in self, you have no faith in spirit or energy, source, God, Jesus. What do you want to call him? Energy. You know. So yeah, empower yourself. Empower yourself. You know, I see a lot of paranormal or ghost hunters on YouTube, and so many of them are entertaining, and many of them are, they hit home with the new technology of how to hear a spirit speaking or capture a shadow, etc. But they don't understand energy, you know. So what is the most that they capture or hear? Demons and goblins and ghouls, you know. Yeah, because that's in the forefront, you know. That's in the forefront. They don't want you to understand um that there's a beautiful angel protecting you, or your ancestors after a while come back to guide you and help you in this mission called life. No, they don't, you know. And even the devil, it's a product of our God, our Lord, our Jesus. You know, he's been misdirected, you know, full with jealousy and anger and selfishness, and a me attitude. You know, that's why he was kicked off the cloud. You know, and if we could know ourselves, empower ourselves, these negative energies will not be able to trump us. You know, and again, if you're not in the spiritual developing, it still works for you. you know, it still works for you. Positive thinking. Because when you, ladies or gentlemen, when you get a new haircut or you blow out your hair, you do your hair, how does that make you feel? Wonderful. Yeah. So you're walking up a little straighter, you're smiling more, you know, people are being gravitated to you because of the energy that you're putting out, you know. We must learn how to recognize these little points and hang on to them more. You know, let's stop pointing the finger at Harry and Susan, you know, or you know, they doing this or they have this and I don't, you know. No, focus on self. Yeah. And this is a process of every day, okay? Because again, everything that I'm speaking about here, I practice it, I've lived it, and I'm living it. So don't think that I don't because I still go through my mishaps and go through my demon battles. My mother used to say is one thing of speaking about the devil and another thing of seeing him come at you, you know. And I've seen many battles, my friends, my lovings. So I'm here to try to assist you and not having to go through some of that. We all have to go down our pit holes, but you don't have to go that deep. Okay. So with that, mm, remember, Beyond Sight is always here. All you have to do is leave me a message, and I would definitely love to assist you. Okay. I don't have a PhD, but again, I have a pretty huge desire to serve my community and share my experiences, bad, misled, or and my wonderful moments. Okay. Yes, I have many wonderful moments. So again, remember my motto: when you want to shine, when you send out your light out into the world, you want it to reach far and wide. Make sure the light at home shines bright and strong. And with that, I bid you luz y progreso para ti tu espíritu. Be blessed and be well, my lovies. I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm waiting. Hello. Subscribe. No, but seriously, I appreciate you guys. And I love you so. Until the next time we meet, remember, smooches. Mwah.